Good evening, everyone. It is another Wednesday. Weather not so good, but you know what? We are not going to complain. I really want to hope that all of my family and friends in Florida and the other states, as this storm goes up, are okay and everything. Everybody has been texting and saying that they're doing okay. So we're just praying for better days to come and that this recovery from this weather storm will be as smooth as possible. So today, I want to first thank you for joining us today. Let me introduce myself. I am Atanya Jean Funny, your audacious advocate and candidate for county commissioner in Clayton County, District 3. So I would appreciate your support in any way possible. That could be giving a donation, which you will see on my page, coming to support my events, coming on these lives with me, and engaging my guest. So many different ways. Reach out to me, go to my website. And I'll put that information in the feed. But thank you so much for joining me today. Now, I'm going to tell you about our conversation today. Go and get you some paper and a pencil because the young lady I have on today is a wealth of information. If you already have your home, wonderful. But I know you know someone that is looking to purchase a home. And even if you want to do something else, this young lady is an expert in the real estate field. She is also HUD affiliated, and she is going to tell you about her organization. And she is going to show you where is the money, honey. All right. She's going to show you that. And I have had the pleasure of talking to her several times at community events. Y'all, we out there. We at these community events. And I told her, and I don't even know if she remembered because I think it was 2 times. And I was like, I want you to come on live with me. And I'm so happy to have her. So I am going to bring Miss Archie Emerson on right now so that you all can meet her and we can get this conversation going. Hi, Miss Archie. How are you doing?
You doing this evening?
Doing well. I was reading your bio, and we are both historical Black college grads. You,
Yes.
Grambling, and me, of course, my Rattler Road, Florida
Oh,
A&M
well,
University. Don't roll your eyes.
you know, well, I shouldn't even be on here with you.
No, it's all HBCU love. It's all HBCU.
Yeah.
Look, the one thing about our experience that people that did not go to a HBC don't have, unfortunately, yes, Sherry, is that they taught us how to win and how to survive.
Yeah.
Listen.
Grambling motto, everybody's somebody, honey, that resonate in my head all the time. I am somebody. And,
That's right.
everybody I meet that have attended Grambling, I see them and, out here doing the same thing, thriving, doing extremely well. And it just makes you feel extremely proud that I attended a HBC school.
Yes.
So my
Yeah.
son went to Bethune-Cookman, but I always tell him, "You still a baby cub."
Now, see that Bethune Cookman will get me to rolling my eyes. You know, that's my biggest. That's our biggest rivalry in Florida.
Yes, yes.
So I'm gonna forgive you for allowing him to go to that school.
I couldn't do it myself, and I had to pay the money for him to go.
And I'm always proud of our mayor named Keisha that went
Yes,
to Florida A&M. But anyway, so we're just happy that just had that little tidbit that we had in common. I'm like, yay, that is so
yes,
awesome. So, like I was telling my audience, I spoke to you a couple times, and I know you get a lot of people that say, "Hey, I want to further this conversation." You're like, "Okay, okay." You're
Right.
like, "Here's my card. Give me a call." And I was like, "See, I am going to surprise her because I am going to give her that call."
And I was surprised that you're right, because if we do get a lot of them, and I have spoken on some people's show, but I was shocked when you come say, "Hey," when you come in, always so willing to speak, to make a difference, to help educate our community. That is what runs in my vein every day about being an advocate for our community, about change. What does it take? What can we do to make it better? How can we elevate our community, the Black and brown community? That's just what we want to do.
Yes. And I put in the bio that home ownership, and there's people that say, no, we got to do it this way or that way. But I put in the bio that home ownership has been one of the ways to build and transfer generational wealth. Can you talk a little bit more about what a home can do for a family?
Well, you have to understand, to be honest, home ownership is the beginning of building financial wealth.
Mm-hmm.
If you buy a car, as soon as you drive it off the parking lot, it starts to depreciate. So there
Yes.
is not too much that you can, you buy a diamond, someone can steal it, and it's gone. But when you buy a house, even if it catch a fire, you got to remember the insurance restore back to new. It may be better than it was when you bought. So it is the beginning of building financial wealth. And when I tell people, everybody has an empire.
Mm-hmm.
Some are big, some are small, and everybody is worth something. So when you buy a house, you just adding onto your worth value of what you're worth. So if you buy a $300,000 house and you got a 401k and you got all of these assets, then they just add it together to come up with how much you're worth. So I
Yes,
think that our community don't really realize that everybody is worth something. When it comes, you have a value. You hear people saying, this person is worth $5 million, $10 million, but we all are worth something. You just have to add up your own assets to see what you're worth. So that's why I think people need to know, if you desire to have home ownership, we want you to have it.
absolutely. And I know even in educational sense that students that have a stable home, they tend to do better even in school. So just the environment that they're in. So I mean, it just goes far beyond what some people think of how important it is. Now, right now, Miss Archie, people are afraid because but the interest, okay, so when we look at it with what is happening in our economy,
Hmm.
the interest rate has gone up, but what people need to understand, the interest rate is still nowhere near what it once was.
But
Talk a little bit about that.
what I think that they see 1 and 2, 3% interest rate. They seen that during COVID, but the only
Mhm.
time you see those rate, we had them back in 2008 when the economy crashed. But
Crash.
you don't want that for your economy. So this
Mhm.
is how we thrive, is off interest rate. But so that was a special rate. But what I don't understand is when people say, well, the interest rate is high and I don't want to buy, but you have a 23% interest rate credit card in your pocket.
Speak it.
Yeah, and you can't write it off. The government only allow you to write off children's in a house. And a child average you about $10,000 a year. You may not have to do anything to your house unless you want to redecorate, other than pay the utilities, and you're gonna pay that in anywhere you live.
So you're basically saying that people, they're spending their money on something.
Interest rate at 7% is still what we call normal rates. And
Okay.
during COVID, the rent market double,
Woo!
almost 75% up than what it used to be. So
Absolutely.
now, are you going to invest in somebody else's empire, or are you going to invest in your own? So to me, I would rather invest in myself and go and take the time to purchase a home. Georgia is the best place. Everybody's seeking to come here. We're number 10 on the list for the most growing state right now.
Mm-hmm.
We sit at the top of the 10, right there, number 3 and 4, where people want to live and are moving from New York, from Texas, from California to move to Georgia. What are you going to allow them to get the home that you should have had? You have to,
Mm-hmm.
you live here, so they will buy a home or some investment property, and you rent their property and pay their house note. So which one do you want to do? Do you want to invest in yourself so that you have that write off? You have to be realistic. You have to live somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Why not live in your own place? If you buy an apartment, you can't buy the apartment. It belongs to the owner. You can't damage the wall, then you're gonna pay for it. But if it's yours, you get to create, you get to mold it the
Your
way you want
atmosphere.
it. You get
Yes.
to paint it, you get to put the carpet down, you get to put the furniture where you want it. If you knock a hole in the wall, it's your wall. And you can fix it when you want to. But
Yes.
it's about investing in yourself. We can take the cheap way out and say, well, I'll just pay the rent because I don't want to have to do no lawn. I don't want to have to do that. But guess what? You can write all that stuff out, maintenance and upkeep, and then write off of your property. It's yours. It don't belong
Yes.
to somebody else.
Your
So,
your fellow colleague, Miss Kennedy, said hello.
yeah, hey, hello, everybody out there. But, my thing is about, why not go into home ownership? Why wouldn't you? If you can give me home ownership is not for everybody. We know that. If you know that you can't take care of a house, you maybe handicap, there could be many a reason that you don't want to join into home ownership. But if you can give me that valid reason, and I won't even argue with you. If you say, okay, but if you tell me something, I ain't ready yet, why are you not ready?
And that's what I want to get into today. That's why I told people go get a notepad and a pencil, because I do want you to go through um step by step. And you could tell us a little bit more about your organization that we were talking about
Yeah.
before you before we went live. But tell us, I want people that are interested in buying a home to know what are the steps that they need to take in order to do that. And it's not something, and we need to realize that some of the things that they need to prepare, it may not happen overnight. They may not be ready tomorrow. But if they put these steps into action, they will be ready to purchase the home. So if you could take us step by step, I'm going to assume going to look at houses, that's not the first thing you need to do.
Because that's not the first thing you need to do is go, because I can tell you, if you go out here today looking at how you gonna fall in love with a property. But
Mhm.
have you positioned yourself to buy that house yet, though?
Mhm.
If you're not, then you could get frustrated. I
Yeah.
can't promise nobody that the road will be easy. I've been doing real estate for 30 years, but I feel like I've been doing housing counseling just that little time, because 90% of my buyers that have purchased through me have
Uh-huh.
been with me. Because I call them family, because it's about education, about transitioning from renting to home ownership. What are the
It's a
steps?
trend, and
That
every transition it takes steps.
it's a process.
It's a process.
See, housing counseling been around since 1965, but it's a well-kept secret, and it's free. HUD offer housing counseling in every one of these counties. Whether you
Okay.
decide you want to go to one, even my own client, I say, listen, before we go to any step, before we drive any car, before we get any approval, we're gonna
Mhm.
go do a home buyer education class. If you can go sit at a football game, at a concert, you should be wanting to invest in yourself to go sit in a home buyer education class. I
So
heard,
now how would people find these classes?
well, most of them are on through you on Eventbrite. All of our classes, HUD classes. Now you want to make sure you in a HUD approved class, not just
Okay.
class.
A
Some
HUD approved class.
a HUD approved class. HUD require you to attend, and it has to be anywhere from 4 to 8 hours. So what it means is that you attend the class, and it can typically our class start from 10 to 3:30, and then it's a two process step. After the class, you have to do a 101. The 101 process is finding out, are you financially stable? Do you understand budgeting? Are you living on a budget? Do you already have a saving? And what other programs are out there to help you go joining the home ownership? Georgia has so many down payment assistance available.
Wait,
And
wait, wait. You wait, you going ahead. Don't go there yet.
okay,
We gotta ease it in.
okay.
So
So,
Miss
yeah,
Kennedy
but
said
those are
she
the
is actually having one on September the 9th. Legacy
September.
South Real Estate Group
Yeah.
LLC is having one on September the 9th. So here we go. We already have a seminar that is HUD approved that people can attend. That's fabulous.
So this I will have 3 classes this month. Typically,
Oh, okay.
I have to give myself at least one weekend off. But it's to me it's about education for our community.
Mm-hmm.
So we did them by Zoom during COVID. Now we're back in person. So typically people
So
call.
for these classes, do they need to bring anything?
They don't need to bring anything. The intake package is emailed to them a couple of days before, or
All
if they
right now.
they find them, and we provide them with breakfast and lunch.
What?
But the class is free,
Free class and you're gonna feed us.
and we're gonna feed you.
Wow.
All you do is come and get the information, and you become part of the NID family. That what that means is that I can become the auntie, cousin. I don't care what you call me, what you label me, and you hooked to me for life. So that means someone talk about house and they don't sound right. You say, I'm gonna call my auntie up because something don't sound right.
So what's NID? Tell everyone what NID is.
NID is the National Investment Division, which is through the National Association of Real Estate Brokers.
Okay.
So our main headquarters in Oakland, California. We have 3 locations here, and we also combine this together. They also do classes. So there's always a class being done here somewhere every weekend in Georgia.
Awesome. So is it a fee for them to join?
No, ma'am. There's no
Okay.
there's
Just
no
come.
fee as long
Just
as
just your just your time.
it's just your time. It's your
Beautiful.
time. And we try to talk about credit because for some reason in our community, people think that if they got a 660 or 600, they got a good score. But actually, that's a D.
Mm-hmm.
It will allow you to purchase a home. But
Mm-hmm.
we strive for our community to be in the 700 club, so you can dictate what you want and not someone else.
Yes, yes.
So long as
But
you
listen, we doing well because I saw all those Beyonce goers. I wasn't one of them,
neither
but
was I.
I know those tickets was uh a
$1,000.
mortgage.
I
A
know
mortgage
the
payment.
I ain't gonna be able to do it for Beyonce. I'm gonna have to watch it from the somebody posted it on Facebook because I ain't gonna be able to do it. Boo.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good too.
But I'm just saying, like, people, we have the money because we choose what we want to spend it on. So,
We have the money, but we do not prioritize where our money needs to be spent.
mm-hmm.
Your mortgage should be or your rent should be first, then your utilities, then your car, transportation. In a certain area, as you go down the list, what should be spent first?
So
And
when you have these meetings, um, you get into all of those things.
the 101 is where we actually get down. So it's required that you send me your bank statement and your check stub. Because the bank statement tell me it all. I say follow the money. So
Mm-hmm.
you tell me you don't eat out a lot, but then you got McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, and all them on there. Well, then guess what? Somebody stole your credit card and they just up spending on, and you're not even where they spending your money because
Look, and you know what I noticed the other day, just on a little sidebar. Well, actually, a few months ago, the fast food has gotten very expensive. They have gone up on it. So I'm like, oh no, we got to pull back because it is extremely it used to be like it was fast, but it was cheap, so it's like, okay, you're gonna swap one for the other. But now if I'm gonna pay for a full meal at a fast food restaurant, I'm like, oh no, for a family of four, no, we're not doing that.
well,
We we can eat for a week.
the thing is that you can. I say that I'm a more nutritious eater.
Hmm.
So I'm not gonna be eating at McDonald's. There's like a rare occasion for me.
Yes.
So, but the thing about it to me, if you go to Chick-fil-A, you gonna come out and spend about $20 if you got a full meal and don't buy no shake and all of that there.
Oh no.
So, and if you stopping to buy there every day, you tell them 7 times 20, you add it up. Is
Yeah.
that in your budget? And I tell people when we're doing a budget, I don't want you to deprive yourself of these good things. Put it in your budget. If it fits in your budget,
Put it in your
you
budget. Uh-huh.
say that 3 times out of the 4 times out of the month, I'm gonna be able to eat out, or I say I got $100. But the thing about right now, we don't see cash that much no more.
Mm-hmm.
You got wallet app, you got the cash app. So that's how, so you don't really understand how much money you spending because you swiping. You swiping. If it's on the card,
That's
you
true.
swipe.
Yeah.
And so, we call what some people unbanked. They mean that they card go to this little card, they paycheck. They say, you get my card, I'm gonna get my paycheck 2 days early. Did you understand? That's a loan. So and
Oh
then you
wow.
spend it there, but you still gonna be broke.
Yeah.
So, you cannot get a loan from a lender being unbanked. You have to be able to have a bank statement from a legitimate bank account.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Unbanked. So you put your money on a card, but it's not in a legitimate bank that's going to send you statements at the end of every month that
Yeah.
you can, send to.
Those are considered unbanked people. And so you would have to go open a bank account and you would have to have it at least at least 30 to 60 days.
Wow. Okay.
So, we find a lot of that in our community, people that are considered unbanked. And the thing
Wow.
about it, in order to get their money, like if you go to Kroger's, you swipe the card, you got to pay $50 if you get so much, or you got to pay $1. To me, all my money is mine. I don't have no miscellaneous money,
Yes.
and
Yes.
you don't either. So I mean, you have to start adding it up.
Mm-hmm.
Even when COVID, when all the money the government was giving out, I'm like, you can be better off after COVID if you budget right.
Yes.
Stay on a budget, only spend for your necessity, then you could be better off. You can have a savings at the end of COVID where you can have some stuff paid off. So you're positioning yourself to go into home ownership.
Now, one of the one of the things that I've heard that people have issues with is on the credit reports are are rents being included as part of credit history.
Well, they're not, it's not included on there, but there are some programs now that will allow you to put your rent history on your credit report. But the lender will do a VOR, which is a verification of rent, because they want to see what your rent history is,
Okay.
what you pay it. But you're going to be looking for 3 lines of credit, so lenders may use your utilities now. So if you
Okay.
pay
Hmm.
your utilities on time, or your telephone bill if you don't have any credit. So if you're trying to establish credit, I tell people, ask your bank account. I mean, ask the bank that you're banking with, do they have a secure credit card that you can
Hmm.
get and start establishing some form of credit? Because we're in a society that is credit driven. You have to have some form of debt to get debt. Unfortunately,
Mm. Okay.
what we are. So if you have no debt, you actually almost can't buy because they want you don't have a credit score. If you don't have any debt out there, or if your credit you don't have enough and it's down in the four on the FHA, you have to have at least a 580. But you don't want a 580 trying to buy a house that you're gonna get a bad interest rate.
All right. So let's talk to that person because this may seem a little overwhelming to some people. And they're like, I really want to purchase a home. Let's talk to that person that may not have the best credit right now. Um, what steps do they need to take right now to start working on that? Maybe they need to, get a second job or find something else to start paying down some debt. Talk to that person like from A to Z, what do you need to do to be able to qualify for a home, maybe like in a year or 2 years?
Well, it depends on if you overextended in debt. All credit cards needs to be 50 to 35% uh, usage on your credit card. So you shouldn't go over
50
50.
to 35%.
Yeah, so typically we to make it really good is say 35%. So but you can go up to 50. But if your usage of it is 35, that's perfect. So that is to help boost your credit score. But medical bills, they won't count against you. But if you have student loan, if you get an FHA, they're gonna if it's on income base, they're gonna count at least a 1% to 50% of that based on the payment. So student loans could affect how much house you can get, but you definitely want to pay down your debt. Now you're not going to be able to get away from debts that you owe somebody. You might as well negotiate with them and try to pay them off. Start with the smaller amount. Once you pay it off, double the and pay the other ones off until you can pay it off. Negotiate with them to try to get that debt paid off.
Okay. And then what's the next step?
So once you have established and you can get your credit score up to at least a 660 or better, then that's when you know you already position yourself to start going into home ownership. Because your debt to income, because you don't want to have a lot of debt. If you're doing an FHA loan, 31% is on the top end is how much your house note is going to be. But you can't go over your 42% in the back end. So if your total debt, including your house note, is more than that, then you exceed that debt to income, and they may let you go over a little bit more. But so if you decide you want to buy purchase a home, you wouldn't want to go buy a car because now car notes are more than a house note. I seen someone yesterday $800. I'm like, what you driving?
Oh, Jesus. Yep, they're up there.
Yeah. So, and she was just driving a Silverado, and I was like, okay, um, maybe they changed since the last time I had one, but I don't want to pay $800-900 for a truck note.
Yeah.
But so that's with that saying, so when you add the truck note and you got your other debts, say you got credit cards or other bills you paying, then you could now your house note may be lower because you chose to get the house first. I mean the car first. So you want to make sure that, and if your car is 7 months from being paid out, they won't count that against you. So they
Okay.
won't count that debt then. So if you
Mhm.
know that the car note is being paid off soon, you can still go ahead and look at getting with a lender and getting pre-qualified. But the first thing would be to order your credit report. If you know that you have, see what's on your credit report. You can get a free credit report by going to annualcreditreport.com and get your own look at it. Most now banks, whoever you bank with, will allow you to have access to your credit report, your scores, so you can see. They will also give you different tips. A lot of people use Credit Karma. Credit Karma, please do not look at that score thinking that's your credit score. That is a marketing tool. It is not your true score. If you use a FICO score, yes, that is what the lenders use. You can go to my FICO and get one.
Okay.
different one experience and join that and pay for that monthly, whichever one you want to work with to have your score, unless you want to work. Now, if we working with you, you have to do the work. We will guide you in the process. But if you want someone to do it for you, then you need to go out there and get you a paid person that helped you and make sure it's a legitimate and not someone that
Yes.
just getting your money and talking about paying them monthly. That those companies do not do anything but collect your money and cannot change anything.
Yes.
So you
So
want to
let me just recap what you have talked about at this point. You want to make sure that you're not unbanked. Okay. So you want to have a bank account and it has to have been open for at least 30 to 60 days. You want to have at least 3 lines of credit, but don't go over 50% in your credit
or
usage.
35%. Let's think because that 30
35.
usage.
Okay. And order your credit report so you can see what's on there, and also start negotiating your debt because you want your credit score to be, you said, at least 660
660 or better.
or
But
better.
we want them in the 700 club.
Okay, but you want to be in at least the 700 club.
A
Okay.
660 will get you, allow you to get a home. You can get a loan. Any lender pretty much will give you a loan, but it's pretty much going to be a FHA loan. If you're looking at a conventional loan, you need to have a 680 or above.
Okay.
So, and that's what people with great credit. So,
Now, and we haven't even talked about a down payment.
no. So we ready to go in there?
Um, so we're okay. So we've gotten our credit usage is good. We've gotten our credit report. So now what's next?
So now we feel that we financially, I mean, we position ourselves with our credit. So now you will look at a lender. And you can go to and have 3 lenders pull your credit within a 3 month, I mean, within the same month without
Okay.
having a hard impact on your credit.
All right.
So, but and all lenders don't offer the same thing. So if
Now, would you say to shop around, or would you, because everybody is nervous, like, oh, you're going to pull and that's going to drop my credit report. So, would you say to make sure, is it like go to 3, or if you pick
you
one?
if you could go to 3 if you choose, but all you can do to research or ask them what type of product, because if it's going to be only one major pool if you just using those 3 within that 30-day window.
Okay. Okay.
So you just don't want to have out there people constantly pulling your credit every 30 days, then yeah, it's going to be an impact on your credit because they are hard pulls.
Okay.
So, but the first lender, if you depending on where you want to live, are you looking for down payment assistance? Because all lenders don't offer down payment assistance. Some do, some offer in-house program. Right now, we seeing the most down payment assistance than when down payment assistance even started. Special
Wow.
program. If you got a 7, they may have a 100% down program, or they may have, I don't want to call any lender's name out here,
Mhm.
but I work with several different lenders. As a housing counselor, we have to give them 3 choices,
Got you.
3 different lenders to look at, and we try to educate them so they can make their own rational decision
Mm-hmm.
about what lender. But if someone say, I want to live in Atlanta, I may tell them, get them 3 lenders that deal with products that's in Atlanta, which in Invest Atlanta, Atlanta Housing.
No, we want them to move to Clayton County now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but Clayton County have down payment assistance. What
Where? Where?
Clayton County
Who?
have a down payment assistance program.
And where
They
do we find that?
You can go to Clayton County. You can go on the website and it will show you. You
What
can
website?
go with Clayton County down payment assistant and it will come up.
Clayton, y'all hear that? Clayton
Clayton
County
County,
Down Payment Assistance.
and it will give you the different lenders that also do that product.
Now, I did speak to one young lady, and and you know about the program too. Um, Certain employees of Clayton County can get down payment assistance if they live in Clayton County.
Yes, they can get it, and they can they can actually layer those 2 together. They can layer them. So different products can be layered. So you can get Clayton County down payment assistance and an additional, like a police officer, they may can get an additional $2,500. As a veteran can get an additional $2,500. But the good thing is that they can layer and they don't have to pay these funds back.
Back.
They don't sell the house, and they're gonna
They
live
may
it.
have a stipulation of how long you
It's
have to live in the
just
home.
yeah. Now, some of the programs do have an income cap on it. So that's what you have to find out. Do I qualify for all the down payment assistance that's available? The state of Georgia have one you can buy in Clayton County, which is the Georgia Dream.
Georgia Dream.
The
Y'all
Georgia
write that down? Georgia Dream.
Yeah, Georgia Dream. You do pay the Georgia Dream back because they want to keep replenishing to give other people an opportunity to purchase a home.
And can
So,
you layer that one also?
no, you cannot layer the Georgia Dream. They don't play.
Okay.
They don't, they do not play with layering because they finance their own. They don't sell them out. That's when you see you may start with one lender and then you may get a notice saying your mortgage have been sold to another, but Georgia Dream do not.
Okay. That's what happened to us. I have a Facebook user that wants you to explain the difference between a lender and a broker.
Well, broker means just what it said. They broker out to they say you would X and they are broker. So they may broker out the A, B, C, and D to see which one have some specifics just for you. So they
Okay.
will look and see which one. So you may originally be working with X, but then once they get your documents, and then a processor from that other lender may call you. That's the difference from a broker. They
Okay.
they have access to other, just like your insurance company that have a brokerage. You may be working with somebody that have their own insurance brokerage, but they don't use their insurance. You may end up with Progressive Insurance.
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
the same difference.
Okay. Now, once you're able to find out to get your lender and you have now looked at different down payment assistance programs that you may qualify for, you said that the house would needs to be around 31 to 42%.
Yeah, so that's just like if they'll look at from our side, when you come to talk to us to do the 101, I look at all your debts. But
Okay.
the lender only looks what's on your credit report.
Oh, okay. Credit report
So
debt.
and
Okay.
and the lender look at gross. I look at net because
Yeah,
you don't bring home. But the
because you
lender
don't bring home gross.
the lender qualify you based on your gross.
Okay.
And if you get some additional, say you get Social Security, then they can gross it up by 1.25%. So they add some extra money, but you don't really have that money.
Yeah. Yeah, when
So,
we bought our home, my husband was like, "Mm-mm, we not going to what the bank told us we qualify for." He was like, "Absolutely not."
so that's why when we do the housing counseling, we do the 101. And so realistic, I say, well, the lender have approved you for $400,000. And this is
Mhm.
what you know. Now you can buy this house, but you see what your bottom line, how much money you're gonna have at the end of the day, because you're gonna have to live on this budget now because if you have no room for error. But
Yes.
if you decide, okay, well, you know, I don't want $2,000. I want at least to be 1,500. So now we can bag into 1,500 and say, well, then you need a house maybe at 250,000 rather than $350,000.
And that is so important because one of my favorite shows I used to watch all the time was Say Yes to the Dress, right? So it was about women buying their wedding dresses. And what the company would always say, they were like, "What is your budget? We do not want to show you a $5,000 dress if your budget is 1,500. Do not do that to yourself." So I think in the same way of buying a house, don't go look at a $500,000 house when you have been approved for 250.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I tell people you have to put what I must have. when you at your
The
agent,
non-negotiables.
what is that? Is it a must have? I have a garage. Is it a must have? I have a den. Now the newer homes don't even come with family. I mean, living rooms anymore. They call it, family rooms, and you may have a great room, but they kind of went away from the family room because they
A
say people.
must-have,
Yeah,
a war
yeah,
closet.
yeah. Yeah, that's it. So what is my must have? I tell everybody, what is your must have? So
Uh-huh.
when you agents start to take you out, then if they pull up one and it doesn't have a garage, you said, no, I want to have a garage to park my car in.
Mm-hmm.
Because some houses now, some people don't enclose the garage and there's no garage. But if you say, Archie, no, I got to have a garage, then I know not to be showing you houses that don't have garages.
Absolutely.
So, but at least keeping you in that dollar amount. But the good thing right now, I believe that we're in that area where there's some negotiation when you're trying to go out and look for a house with the seller. Where during COVID, there was no negotiating because the house was gone within 1 or 2 days. Now homes
Wow.
take a little bit longer
Mm-hmm.
because the interest rate means that you can't buy as much house as you could when the interest rate was 3%.
Gotcha.
So the houses are sitting a little bit longer. But it is a great time to buy a home.
Say
It,
that again. Say
it
that
is
again for everybody that's watching too much
amazing
news.
time to buy a home. It is a
Great
great
time to buy a home.
It's always a great time to invest in yourself
Yep.
because it's all about what you want. If you see, I don't care. The thing about it, you got to remember they cannot discriminate against your age. So if you 65 and you still want a home, guess what? They got to sell you a home, put you in a home, and do a loan.
Yeah.
We One of the lenders that I have celebrated a lady that was 90 some years old. The first time she was able to go into homeowner, that was her dream. And she
Wow.
wanted to do it before she died. And she did it. So
Wow.
it's never too late. We are,
That's great. That's great to hear
yes,
for other people that think, no, let me just keep this apartment, but I've always wanted a home, but it's not going to be fulfilled for me. You're saying you can do it.
you can do it. I had one client, he was actually in his 50, but he really did not believe he would ever be able to own a home. And he sent a great message back just to thank us. And I was not his real estate, I was just his counselor. He
Mhm.
went through the class and we did the 101, but he was so excited and so happy that he was willing to listen and take the initiative to go into home ownership. So, during the class, we tell everybody, I know that Google can tell you everything. You can Google, find out how to do this. We for once, for just today, from 10 to 3:30, let's leave Google outside.
Yes.
Allow me and the group of people that have volunteered to come here to tell you how you join into home ownership, what they expect, to understand what you need to do. All of that, from the inspector to agents to the loan officers to the insurance, because you must have all of these people part of your team when you go
Mhm.
into home ownership.
Yes. Yes, I remember that when our house was still in construction, they were like, you need to get your insurance.
Well, yeah,
That's got to be submitted.
that, and we try to educate people that here in Georgia, uh, the type of state is, if you don't pay, you don't stay. So that
Mhm.
means when you sign your documents at the closing, you also sign your foreclosure document.
Ooh.
Yes.
Mm.
So it's given, we want you to know up front and about, once you close, you got to go down and file for your homestead exemption.
Exemption. Yes, Lord.
You want to see your taxes go up. It have perks of being a homeowner.
Mhm.
So don't let them know. So now you get a reduction in your taxes. We even educate veterans, helping veterans to understand you need to use your VA eligibility.
Mhm.
Some agents, some don't educate them or try to go to them off to FHA or conventional. No, you deserve it. You should use it. So that's part of what we make sure in the counseling, that you are aware of what you can do and what you can't do.
Okay.
If you have any issues out there, we you can call us. You can text me. You can send me a email, whatever. If someone it doesn't feel right, it doesn't seem right, call to find out so that we can make sure that we can help you journey on to the end to make sure you close successfully.
And one of the things also is that these are all the things just to get you prepared,
Yeah.
because the actual process, oh my goodness. My husband and I was like, do you want a pint of blood from us? Like, what else? Because we were like, okay, yeah, we'll give them that. Yes, we gave them the IRS transcript. Yes, we did that. And then they would be like, so we need, it's just like, oh my goodness, you need something else from us?
Yes, because you gotta understand the lenders is finna make an investment in you, $300,000. And we know every day we've seen people foreclose or whatever, but the lender want to make sure that when they making that investment in you, that they are making the right investment. The people that ask, you never see the underwriter. You'll hear them talk about the underwriter, but you will never be able to talk to the underwriter because they represent the lender to make sure that they sign approval that they got a legitimate person that some people still have problems, still in their foreclosure, but it does happen.
Yeah. Yeah, but that underwriting is no joke.
No,
It's no
no,
joke.
no,
But
it is.
I feel that if they have someone, which we didn't have, Miss Archie, I wish I'd known you then. But someone like you to help guide the process, you will have them ready for everything that they need when it's time for them to go through that underwriting process. So it's just a matter of like just putting all the documents together, right?
Yes. But yeah, and that's it. So, but our office do more than just join into home ownership. We also protect homeowners. So homeowners
Wow.
that have difficult paying their mortgages, don't know what to do, frustrated, don't understand, then they can call our office and we can help talk to the lender on their behalf. Uh,
Wow.
Their money to help them catch their mortgages up if they or whatever the situation, there is always a solution because 9 out of 10 chances the lender don't want the house back. They would prefer them to stay in the if we can help
Mhm.
them find a solution. Some people try to do things that are on their own, trying to do modification and don't understand what they need to have on the paperwork, then till it get out of hand and then the lender say, well, they're going to foreclose on them. So, we try to get as much information out to the public to know help is here.
Yes,
You
because
know,
I know one of the things that's going on right now. Hi, Katina. Yes, glad you are enjoying this information we have tonight. Hi, Hugh. Um, what we have going on right now, which I guess is a good thing, although is that we have a lot of equity in our homes right now. So you have lenders and different people calling you all the time to tell you to take the equity out. Oh, you want to pay your bills off, or you want to do home improvements, things like that. So if somebody's part of your program and they get one of those phone calls and they say, well, Miss Archie, should I take some equity out of my home to do this, that, and the other? You could walk them through that and tell them the pros and cons and things like that.
yes, a lot of them will. We see a lot of elderly bring us their. They have to send you the closing doc. So we
Mm-hmm.
look at them to see is it financial and do another budget to see is it financially feasible.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth you? Because your house note is going to go up,
That's
especially
what people don't realize. It's like
house
your house
note.
note goes up, and also you own the interest rate, right?
Yeah, the interest rate is going to go up. Your house note is going to go up. But what you don't realize, remember when you close, the seller pays some of your closing costs. When you refinance, ain't no guess what? Where that closing costs come from? Out of your equity. So that means you get some your equity ate up. So you got to think is uh is it financially feasible for me to do that, or should I go get a equity line of credit? Meaning that if they give you $50,000 equity line of credit, you only pay for what you use. So and how much is that payment? Is that payment more in line with our need? because now because I'm gonna eat up equity if I do. So we try to look at which one is financially feasible for them.
Yeah, I would definitely say go to someone that is experienced and don't just listen to the lenders and do something over the phone.
But that's the lender's job is to try to get as loans and stuff. So that's why I say we look
Keep
at
you in debt, like never pay your house off.
yeah, you keep paying the same debt over and over, and you can't use your house like an ATM machine.
Yeah,
That's what you're
yeah,
doing when you turn around and taking and paying a car off, or you think, I tell people, a lot of my clients have that over the 30 years have paid their house off, that have
yes.
stayed in their house. So, the rule of thumb is to pay, if not one full payment before the end of the year, or at least $100 a month extra, but pay it on your principal, which would knock 7 years off your mortgage because
7 years
7
off of
years
a 30-year mortgage,
$100 extra. So out of the
100 extra dollars per
it's
month.
$100 extra. But it just depends on what you want to do. To come up with the calculation, you can go on there and Google that. You can give you a calculation. If you say you want, I did it with myself. I said I wanted my house paid off by 2027. So I came up with a calculation how much it would take in order to have it paid off by that date. So far I'm on that goal.
That's great. Yeah, you were telling me that, and I was like, just $100? I'm like, for the most part, that's doable for most people for a whole 7 years. It's beautiful.
Well, because if you look at and we tell anybody, don't look at the truth in lending, because if you look at that number, you're gonna pay almost double what you paid your house for, because that's the interest only. You're talking about over a period of 30 years. You do it on a car, but it don't calculate in your mind that how
Yeah,
much you paying double on your car in 5 years if you pay it all the way out and don't pay anything extra. When
yeah,
you look at just the interest that you paid the financing company, that's for anything that you buy. And you got these credit cards with 23% on it. If you keep charging it over, if you look at over a period of 30 years and you kept using the card, how much interest did you
that you
pay unless
paid.
you pay it off at the end of every month
Yeah,
and not pay all that interest?
that's right. So I think we've gone through preparation, we've gone through down payment assistance, um, underwriting, which can be a beast, which can be a beast. But is there any other specific things? And then you talked about your non-negotiables of what you want in your house. Um, any other little tidbits that you think we need to add on to our discussion today?
What I tell people, and the same thing they're learning in class, that when they find, they will also need to interview their real estate agent or broker. I am a realtist and a realtor. Realtist is a Black trade organization that was created in 1939 so that Blacks could have home ownership in any area they desire to live in. So that I'm always an advocate for our community. But when you're looking for a home, you want to make sure that you find an agent that is going to work for you,
Mm-hmm.
that is looking for a property, because they are employed by you. They will get you to sign a buyer exclusive buyer agent agreement. Yes, you should sign it. And
Okay.
the way you out of, you some reason you and the agent fall out of, y'all don't like each other no more, you send them a letter in writing, say, I no longer need your services. But what an agent is, they're no salespeople. They don't sell anything, because the thing is that you can find the house.
Mm-hmm.
What you call the agent for is what people don't realize. It's to negotiate your deal, because
Yes.
they're good at it.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to negotiate the deal, especially ones that's been out here for a while. They are really good at negotiating a deal and trying to, especially during COVID, trying to get you in from the bottom to the top, or right now figuring out what they need to do to make sure you get that deal.
That's good.
So you want to make sure that you know, talk to your agent, find out how long they've been in the business, find out do they know different products, what lenders do they work, because need the agent to be able to talk to you when the lender, you can understand what the lender is saying, the agent needs to be able to talk to you as well.
Okay. That's good information. Great, great, great. Well, look, we have already talked for almost an hour. I knew it. I knew it because when I went to the events that you were talking, and I was just like, "Oh no, I got to talk to her some more," because you was such a wealth of information. Me and you were on the same page when we were like, educate, educate, educate our community so that we have the upper hand. And so can you just please tell people how they can contact you?
Well, they can contact me anytime. My phone number is 404-410-6689. That
Say
is my
that again. 404.
404-410-6689. That is the NID office. So if they want to know about the classes, anything of that nature, they can call us. We can find out if they want to sign up for a class or they just want to do their 101. They can call and we go if they want to do budgeting. They want to work on their credit, having fair housing. We issued complaint. Listen, even with rental counseling, what their options are.
Oh, wow, rental counseling, okay.
Yeah, unfortunate right now there's no rental assistance. We wish we had some more left, but even person dealing with mortgages that have an issue with getting their mortgage paid, they're behind on the mortgage. What they need to do, a lot of people don't want to talk to the lender. They avoid the phone call. You can't avoid them.
Yeah,
They made an investment in you. You got to talk to them, but you may not know what to say. We can assist you with that. We can
awesome.
guide you on that process so to make sure you stay, because we want our community to stay in their home. We do not want them to lose their financial wealth that they've already built, and we want to make sure that we help them. So, you know, we
Help
do.
them secure their empire.
Yes, we continue to help people build budgets to make sure you start living them. You got to start somewhere. We can help you come up with a budget, but you got to implement it.
Yes,
You have to be the one to do it. We can tell you all day, but you have to decide that I'm gonna change my mindset. I want to live better. I want to do better. So when there's a crisis hit, that you would be positioned. You will have your mortgage already in your savings. And so all
yeah,
you have to do is pay it. If you lose your job, you got 6 months to a year in savings, and all you have to do is make those payments out there till you can financially get yourself back stable. And that's what
yep,
we want to see our community do, to stay financially stable and not have to depend on somebody, because somebody may not show up.
yes. And we definitely do not want a repeat of what, 2008.
No, ma'am.
Yeah,
And I don't think I think that we are in a good position. We just have to keep pushing forward. If you lose your job, you need to be able to talk with your lender, all of that. But if you're ready to buy a home and you want to position yourself, I'm going to say make them phone call 404-410-6689 between myself, my intake specialist, will answer the phone and will, assist you and do whatever we need to do to make sure if that's your dream to be in a home, that's what we want for you as well. So whatever we need to do, even putting you, if you want someone to help you with your credit, we want to make sure that you can get there.
that is awesome. I knew you were a wealth of information. I tried to prepare people at the beginning to take it all in. Thank you so much, Miss Archie, for taking the time to come on Facebook with me and to go through the steps. I think we gave everybody a very good foundation of what needs to happen. And your office is just a wealth of information. So, as I travel on this campaign trail, listen, I'm going to be giving out your number. If anybody needs some assistance, I will definitely put them in touch with you. And if I can be assistance to you in some way, I am there because I am so appreciative of you being on with me tonight.
Yeah, we are both an advocate for our community, trying to make a difference, whether it's one, two people. I tell you, if it only three people show up at our class, we would still do the class. If you
Look,
get
those
the
three
time to
people
show
that's
up,
ready. They ready
yeah,
to buy a
yeah,
house.
yes. Hey, if you take the time to come, we gonna take the time to educate you and make sure that you get what you need to go into home ownership.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me. Listen,
I told you, I said, I
we,
need you to come on. You're like, here's my look, I still got it right here. Here's my card. Give me a call.
look, I thank you for taking the time to have me here. I hope that this conversation has been very valuable for whoever's out there listening. You know, we are here to help and make sure that you get what you need so that you can have your own home that you can call my forever home. And
And
whatever it
build
takes,
your empire.
build your own empire, not somebody else.
Somebody else.
Yeah, because you are worth all of that and then some.
And then some. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Listen, I told you all to get some paper, get a pencil, because I knew Miss Archie was going to bring it today. And it is my desire for anyone that wants to be a homeowner. We have given you the steps, you have a good resource, and I want you to do whatever it takes to fulfill your dream. My goal with these community conversations is to bring value to the community in whatever way is possible. And I hope you have received that tonight. And also, like I said at the beginning, I am a Tanya Jean Funny, your audacious advocate. And I'm also a candidate running for county commissioner, Clayton County, District 3. And I would truly appreciate your support. So, if you would like to support me, I will add my link. I have my launch on Friday, September the 8th, and I have a link for you to join me. So please come out and also join community conversations on my Facebook page. Go there, add your name. You never know when I give some information that I don't give on the regular Facebook. So go join community conversation. You all have a wonderful night. Share this conversation with others that you know that are interested in home ownership. And I will see you all next Wednesday.